a story on River Mumma, a water deity.
You know that is when a man and a woman go together to get dinner.
No, my grandchild, deity is actually another word for God or goddess. So this story is based on River Mumma, right? She's the goddess of the water. Alright. Legends say that River Mumma inhabits the rivers of Jamaica, and all the fishes are River Mumma's children. Sometimes people say River Mumma rises out of the river to sit on the rocks and comb her long black hair. But like they say, don't touch River Mumma. Don't even look at her. There's no telling what she will do if you try. Some say if you so much as see her, you fall into a trance and she'll grab you by the ears and drag you under the river. If you try to catch her, the fish will disappear. The river will run dry. It's best, they say, not to take trouble with River Mumma. River Mumma lives in deep rivers, way down in those places where the water is tranquil, still, and blue. In spots beneath the shades of the cotton trees, rimmed with plums, spears of plums, and overhung with ferns, ropes, vines of plants. It is there, they say, is those still places where down at the bottom of the river that the golden table lies hidden. The Spaniards left this table, made of solid gold, during their quest for gold many centuries ago. River Mumma guards that table, but often at noon, on the hottest of blazing hot days, the golden table will rise slowly to the surface and over there. When the greedy see that the table, they long to steal it. Many have tried. One time, in the deepest Blue River, on the land of a great sugar estate, the foreman saw that the table rise, so he chained a team of oxen to it. "Pull!" he cried, and he snapped his whip across his oxen back. "Pull!" They pulled and they pulled 12 muscular, broad-backed oxen. But the golden table simply pulled every single animal and all the yokes and chains into the river, all the way to the bottom. That, they say, is what happens to anyone who tries to steal the golden table. One day, Bastian and his sister Laura were walking home at noon, and as they passed the river, they saw sitting on some rocks the River Mumma. "Run away!" Laura cried, but it was too late. Bastian saw it right before his eyes, that magnificent golden table rising up out of the river, hovering there, gleaming bright. "Let's get the table," Bastian grasped. He couldn't believe his eyes. Heard the tales, of course, everyone had, but he had never imagined something so hypnotizing. Laura grabbed his arm. "Never, never, brother," she said, and she pulled him on, trying to get him out of the path back home. "You know what happens to greedy people, Bastian?" "Greedy Bastian said. Greedy?" Bastian said. He was bigger and stronger than his sister, and he could resist her pull, no matter how hard she tried. "I'm not greedy, and you know that." "I do," Laura agreed. "That's why we're leaving. Only greedy people take what's not theirs." "And what about Papa's boss?" Bastian asked. "He's greedy." Their father worked in the sugarcane field, and for the last few weeks, his boss had stopped paying him. When Papa asked why, he said, "I need the money. More money." "I never mind," Laura said. "Remember what Mama says? People who are covetous end up creating big problems for themselves. That you know. Yes, that's true, Bastian said. But what about Mama's boss? She gives Mama a basket as payment for carrying water. That's the raw deal she gives. That was true. Their mama worked as housekeeper, and her boss said, I can't pay you no more. I need more money for my baby. Laura shrugged. Every day is fishing day, but not every day for catching fish, she said. Things change, Bastian. Continue to argue this way, one and one, on and on until sun began to set, and that golden table drift back under the water. Soon it was night, and they were back home, arguing still. When their Papa's boss heard argument, he asked Bastian, where is this golden table? I think I should have it for myself. What's that? Bastian asked. The rich deserve the riches, the boss said. So the next day, he insisted Bastian lead him to the spot. And right there before their very eyes arose the golden table. But don't try it, Bastian said, for he had come to his senses. You know the stories. Myth, said the boss, laughed. Go on home, Bastian. I'll handle this. Bastian did go home that day, and he told his mama and papa the tale of the golden table. Papa's boss never came home, and nobody knows where he went. But people talk. Laura said his greed drowned him, and the boss' son, he changed his ways and paid his workers a fair wage. As for Bastian, a chip, as they say, of the whole block. In other words, Bastian turned out much like his father. He was a hard worker, a good and fair man, and his mama and papa taught him well. That is the end of the story on Mumma.
Okay.